So this is like the final parts of the trilogy we are doing, and we did it part 1, part 2, and part 3, hence the trilogy. So we started off from here. Here's the first one, and this was the second one, and this is the final one that we're trying to clean up today. Okay, so we're done with the layout now. I'm gonna grab my pen. I'm gonna put in some information with the strokes here. Building a little bit of context before we start with the main shading. Okay, so these ones are just values that I want to add in to help me understand what I'm working with. we're doing is trying to define the form, try to create an overall image of what we will be working with. So I'm just trying to create that layer of information to serve as a base, you know. Yeah, so with this stage we wouldn't do so much. We'll just add in a little bit of values here and there, soft shadows, to help us a guide for the next level that we're going. We'll be going 4 faces, so this is the first level. We just keep it easy, tidy, with little strokes, right? Trying to give you an overall idea, like I said before, to help you understand what you want to create with the pen. One thing that you have to keep in mind is when you're working with pen drawing, it's very important that you understand that you don't have the luxury of to edit your strokes or with something that you haven't well thought of before you implement it, unless you don't want to overthink whatever you're creating, right? But in this case, we are trying to follow something specific, right? So we have to be very, very intentional of each stroke that we make. This is our first level. We wouldn't do much to it. We just right, just trying to add a little bit of context to what we're doing with the shades. When it comes to the upper body, this area, we're going to shade it in a curved form, right, to help us understand the figure or the shape we're trying to do. So now I'm gonna work fully on the the female, just for us to have a little bit of understanding of where we are going. At this point, every stroke that we make wouldn't seem much, but all these things is going to build up, and it's going to give us a good source of information to build on when we get to the next stage. So be patient. I always say that to be able to draw well, that's one skill you need to master before you start understanding the principles that governs every art, and that's patience. That's a key component in anybody's work, right? So we have this down. All right, so we're gonna have this now. I'm gonna build the gentleman a little more, but I'm having this idea on how I want his outfit to look like. So I'm gonna make it a little more darker, right? I call these strokes invisible strokes. I don't know if it makes sense, because you'll be, whilst you are applying these strokes, you are not seeing what you're doing, but it serves as a sort of should I call it database for the values where you want to lay your shadows. Right, so something like this, and I'm gonna come in the shoulder area with them. Now we're gonna work on the folding of his shirt, right? So we're gonna go like that and like this to emphasize the stroke, the folds. You draw a regular line and you go the opposite direction, more like a perpendicular 45-degree kind of shading, and you build off of that. So like that, you have this kind of folded, right? So I draw the line and I go more like a perpendicular. But this trick, it only works with this this angle of right, it only works with this angle. Right. So underneath his shirt here is gonna be very dark. This area as well is gonna be very dark. Here as well is also gonna be dark. Here as well is also gonna be dark. So when you have this line and there's a fold here, you're gonna go this way, right? You feel it? Like when you do so, you creating that sort of shadow, and it's the shadow that creates the folding, should I call it effect? Or illusion. Yes, the right word is illusion. So it's the shadow which is gonna create the folded illusion. And if you want, you can come up a little more and go in the 45 direction that I was telling you about. You do that and you would have this this sort of effect, right, of the folded of the shirt. But right now we wouldn't do too much because, you know, right now we're going for 4 stages. Now we're just on stage level 2. All right, and his back here, since he's tucked into his shirt, you're gonna do the same thing that we did here. We have the line here, we go the 45. We have this line here, we're gonna go 45. Right, we have this line here, we go another 45. We have this line here, we go 45. And between, because there's this connection between her and him, we would add in this a little bit of shadow here. Right, then we have this feeling, right? So I'm just gonna go up like this, and here like that, to create this, like his shirt is folded in, right? Okay, so we'll leave it this one as it is, and we'll come back here. And I always like to create this sort of the light direction. So I want the light to be hitting him from his back, so this place will be a little bit overexposed. Right, and his face here would be dark because of the hat, and also the direction of the light is from the back. So we're just gonna make all of these sides a little bit dark as usual, right? Have it like this, and we'll come to the arm this side, and we go up like that. And you just create the values, the shades, right? You create these values before you create the folds. So here I'm just gonna darken it by adding my, and if you pay attention, you realize that the edges of the shirts are not straight. They are just, like, I call it V shapes, or like a W, like a continuous pattern of the W. So wherever that goes in, that's where I would stay to draw my line, and that's what is gonna happen for the, we have the shadow coming in as it is. And this place is gonna be dark. Alright, we have this here. So this is like a simple layout of what we'll be adding more details, polishing it, more details, polishing it, more details, polishing it, and we're going on and on. So here I'm gonna clean the shoes some more, make it very dark, not dark, what was the right word here? Clean it up? No, just color it, right? Add values, yes, that's the right word. Give it values, add some information to it, right? So we do that, we get that down. We have the shoes, right? And give it a little bit of shade here and there. and I'm gonna come here and create the pattern of the shadows for the calves, the thigh, right? So we have this rough thing that we'll be working on. So I'll go back to the guy, and this area, I'm just gonna make it darker, like that. So his pants, I'm gonna make it darker, and I'll just draw these wiggle shapes here to serve as his legs. But we're not going to stress too much about it for now, because it's going to be an abstract thing that we're working for, we're working towards. All right, I'm going to come back to the lady and build a little bit of shadow going on here to emphasize the shade that his skirt is producing here. All right, so I'm just going to shade this thing really hard. Try to follow the same pattern. All right, then I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do this again. Now we feel like the lady's dress is coming together. So I'm gonna add in a pattern here, because what we did yesterday was this one. So with this one, they have I created this more like a strawberry. One of the comments I received was it looks like a strawberry. The lady's dress looks more like a strawberry. So I'm trying to create this effect right here. So I'm gonna build in my diamonds, because I want it to feel more like two people dancing, the same person's dancing. So just keep that language going on, right? I'm just gonna repeat these triangles in the dress. We're gonna have this here, repeat it. And I'll be going back to the image to look at it again, so that I might to remind myself of the things that I did yesterday, to have similarities between these two images. So if I be flipping the pages back and forth too much, bear with me. I'm just trying to remind myself, because when you're sketching, the ideas comes to you and it keeps changing, and at this point we don't want to bombard this thing with too many ideas. We just want to keep it consistent, right? So I'm gonna have this and create some information here. It's all about adding information. The more information you have, some people might call it detail, right? So the more details or information you would have in your sketch, the more better the rendering of what you're working on would be, right? So when you see this this skirt, now we have it's starting to have some information. I like to say information. That's my personal form of language. But anytime I say information, just means details. So you can call it whatever you want, or I hope you can understand it when I say information, right? Because when you think about it, they are pieces of information that you're building on. Anyways, I don't want to bore you guys too much with that. All right. So we're gonna come to the gentleman, and for his hair, I'm gonna darken it like that. But remember, the light source is coming in from here, so we wouldn't want to shade this part too much. We'll just keep it like this. Right, so I'm gonna come here, add a little bit of information to the hat, make it feel like he's wearing a band on the hat. All right, then I come in and I'm gonna create that shadow shading. Right, I feel like the pencil is coming in the way. I might have to take my eraser and erase it. But pay attention to how I'm drawing my strokes. Right, you see this line here? That's what I'm repeating. This line, I repeat it again and again and again and again. This is how you would get the 3D feeling of your hat, right? If you shade vertical, it's just going to look flat. All right, so keep that in mind. And also here, this lower part of the hat is folded. So so let me turn my image, my sketch, and do it properly. So here I'm just gonna go up like this. Why am I drawing the strokes up from bottom to up? Because this lower part is gonna be darker, and this upper part is gonna be lighter. Because I'm just trying to simulate the shadows, right? And yesterday a girl asked me, one of the chats going on in the lives was like, the lights that I created in the image was very good, but that is what it's all about, you trying to understand the relationship of the light, or how the light affects the image. You trying to render that out, you know. If you're able to get that rendering sets, your image is like 70% clean, right? You wouldn't have to bother yourself too much about if the work is good or it's not good. There's been some situations whereby the sketch that I was trying to do didn't come out really well, but the shading, the relationship with the lights on the shading was prime, you know, it was very good. So it made the sketch come alive. Like for instance, I'm showing you, I'm gonna go back to explain what I'm saying. Like if you look at this sketch that we did the other day, the proportion and everything of this image is not as good, right? But you realize that the dark areas are dark, the light areas are light, right? So for such thing, it really gives you enough information to help you understand what viewers, I mean, it helps viewers and yourself to understand what you are working with. So this part of his face is gotta be darker. Of course, remember the light source is hitting him from his back. So this area, I'm just gonna do a little more of my invincible strokes. Maybe I have to give it a good name, but at the moment I'm just calling it invincible strokes. So I apply the strokes in there over and over. And when I come here, I'm just going to do it like that, right? Because his chin is going to be dark. And these little things would make the image pop. So now I'm gonna Hey, hi man, how are you doing? I'm just gonna have this right and shade it. Put in darker, make it darker, right? So we have a little more information with the guy. Now let's go back to the lady. Work a little bit more on her hair, right? The upper body of the lady. Alright. I'm just gonna clean up. I feel like the image is getting dirty. Clean it up. Alright, so for the hair, we're just gonna do this. And make sure that the trick to making the hair is when you do it, hey, hello, you try and tie the ends together. Don't just draw the lines and leave the ends open. When you draw the lines, make the lines stick together. Right now, when you see this, you see, like, so even without shading, we have information of what we are working with. It's like the hair was supposed to stop here, but I did it too much and I added it in here. So how am I gonna fix that? I'm gonna shade all of this place so it feels darker. So I'm gonna come here and add these little bit of spikes of the hair, you know, to enunciate these sort of details. bit of context to it, all right, to build it. So we have this going on, and I'm gonna build it up little by little with pen drawing. I like to take my time and do it because I like to change things while I'm going. So before I commit to a stroke, I make sure that, like, this I'm 1000% sure of what I've done. So we're gonna shade this area a bit darker because of the shadow that will be coming in. So when you look at it, all this place would be shadowed, and we have the highlights here, and the mid-tones would come after that. All right, so inside here we're just gonna make it darker. Here it's gonna be much more darker to give it that form of like a volume, because if you don't do that, then it's just gonna appear so flat. And the same when it comes to the upper body, the meaty part here. All right, then this area, I'm just gonna draw in a little bit of mid-tones. Right, go like that. I'm just gonna go like this. Exactly. Right. Where's my triangle? Find my triangle. Right? And keep adding it. So beneath has the arm here, we're gonna make it more darker. I think probably this might be a no-brainer. So we have this. There's a lot more that we're gonna do. Right now we are heading into the third phase. So the third phase, I'm gonna do more of to define the shadows pretty well in the volumes. Make it more easy to understand. Hi, Vicky. It's okay. How are you? How was your day? So we have this line going in like that. Is Vicky still there? So as I was saying, right now we're on stage 3. So it says, Steve, we're going to really define our shadows and make it very obvious and well defined. The outlines, it's just so we have this. It was a little tiring. We had guests over and I had to wash a lot of dishes and plates, but everything was fine. How about you? Yeah. Okay. Sorry to hear that, but it was good. I hope you had a good fun with your guests. My day was great. I think I always try to have a good day, regardless of what is going on. You just have to focus on what you have over what you don't have. However, that might sound a bit cliche. What did I do today? Yeah, I went to church, and after church, I had some meetings about work, and I made a sketch to decide what I wanted to do for later this evening. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. So we have the head here, right? And I don't want to define it so obvious, so I'm going to use the hair to make the boundaries. And at the back of his neck, of hair neck, this area would be very dark because of the shadows, light coming in from here. This area doesn't get light. So it's going to be much darker. All right, and we're going to come to headdress, this area. I'm going to darken the outlines of it. All right, so we're going to do this with that. Yes, so we can have the shadows underneath her clothings. All right, and yeah, we keep shading upwards to create that sort of 3D effect, because you wouldn't want this area to be flat. That's a no. That's a no. Alright, so we create this thing going on, and with the hands, I'm just gonna do it like that. Yeah, give it a little bit of information. We're gonna come here of the legs. Also, we're just gonna add in circular strokes value and like so. Right. Okay. I'm gonna take my pen and build the gentleman a little more. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This one is I hope you have a beautiful day or your life. By the way, I like the way the woman's hair is looking. Oh, yep. Thank you. Let me bring it more in the frame. It's used and also her nose. I like the pointy nose. Something like that. Yeah. Thanks for that. Let me give a little bit value here. Shadows coming in from the other side. Like that. Gonna have this. So the lady is not so bad. I'm gonna build a little more on the gentleman. For the gentleman's back, there's too much folds here, and I don't like it so much. just gonna make this area underneath the hat darker because of obvious reasons. The shadow produced by the hat. And when you do this, you have to define these edges, or they're just gonna just disappear when the shadows and these little strokes are much similar. Right? So you blend it a little more, and they feel like it's right on top of the head, right? So we just have this, and right. So the hat gonna feels like it's suspended. It's really, it gives the feeling that he's really wearing the hat, not just it's just being placed on the head or drawn on the hair. It's just, like, it gives the feeling that he's actually really wearing. And so this is more like is it dimensions? Not dimensions. What's the word I'm looking for? Perspective. So like, what is closer? So from here, you see that this is first, then this one, and the hat and the hand in the background, right? The hand, I don't want to bother too much about the hand, so I'm just going to do it in an abstract way. I like to make my hands like this. Give it a little bit of context so you don't feel like it's an unfinished idea. So this area, I'm just going to define so right now we're in stage 4, right? Level 4, stage 4, all the same. Just highlights the dark areas more, make it well defined. Right, so we have this. I'm gonna add in this these little details of the hair, right, making it feels like I told you before I would send you a script of what I write when I first came to your broadcast. Remember? Yes, YouTube won't let me because the script is too long and keeps deleting it. So yeah, Um, let me see. I can um, I can find a way. I can find a way to let you send it to me. I think, let me see. When you go to my, when you hit my home page, when you go to my home page and you go to and you go to links, and when you go to my home page and you go to links, right, you would find links of where and how you can contact me. So there is different links whereby you can reach me via Fiverr. You can just find me on Fiverr and just send it to me on Fiverr, or you could find me on Patreon and send me a message on Patreon, or you could find me on Pinterest and you can send me on Pinterest, or what else, email. Probably you can also check it. So there's various ways if you can send it to me, if you don't just find the conventional way. If what's the name, if YouTube is not allowing you to send because it might be too big, you can just send me on any of these platforms that I just mentioned. So you can go to my homepage and links and try to see if you can find any of them that works with you, for you. Is it for you or with you? Right, so now we're just going to define our sketch, outlining the shapes, make everything seem very prominent and well defined. Right? Oh, I love these strokes. Right? Go like that, and we have this here. Just gonna go like that. But besides, I'm too young to deal with these things. Don't worry, don't bother. Just check out my homepage. You'll find other alternatives that you can why do you keep saying you're too young? You're 15. You're not that young. Right, so just do these strokes. And when you're doing these strokes, make it more confident when you are drawing in your strokes. Right, so it feels very intentional. Right, and it doesn't feel like it's some sort of a mistake or an unfinished work. You make it sharp, assertive, confident. Each stroke you make, let it speak for itself with some sort of, let it carry this energy behind your strokes, right? Even if it's not good, but if you make the strokes very vibrant and vivid, well, you are not an Arabic to know what I mean when I say I'm young. Oh, okay, I understand what you mean. I had another subscriber before, and she explained such thing to me previously. So yes, I understand what you mean. Okay. Don't worry, you're not alone. So yes, make your strokes confident with the directions and areas you planted. I'm very happy of how the man is looking right now, looking very sketchy, if I can say that. Gonna add in some minor details to the shirt, so it speaks for itself. Alright, the design here and there. Okay, so we have this thing down. I'm gonna go to the lady and try to define some of her strokes. All right. Alright, so we have this in, and we come to the clothes. Define this place like this, right? So it feels more like it's not very flat. There you go. Yeah. I'm gonna come here and do the same with this. So now you can see we're on level 4 now. We try to clean everything up, make it as decent and clean, and what's the words I'm looking for? Vicky, can you help me? I'm looking for words to describe this this sketch. Alright, I feel like this thing is a little too white, so I'm gonna come in and bring in some strokes here. nice. I like the woman's shoes. Ooh. Let me polish it up a little more. Does it remind you of what is that kid story that is it Cinderella? Was it Cinderella's shoes? Yeah, exactly. Okay. Anything that I might need to do? I like the lady's shoes. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for that. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I think it's over. It's I'm gonna steady it one more time and make sure that I don't overdo it. Okay, so yeah, that's that's what we have today, and gonna leave it on for a while, observe it, and see if there's any areas that I would want to change or redo. I don't know why, but I feel like if the drawing were a landscape, there would be light rain. Maybe it's because of the woman's position. Oh, light rain just gave me an idea. Most light rain. Yeah, but what color should I use? I cannot use the blue because the blue is the guy, and I cannot use the red because the red is the girl. I can do both. Maybe if I do both, it might be too color. The colors might be too much. Yeah, I would maybe I'll try with pencil, or maybe try with a black pen and see how it goes. There we go. Yeah, I like it when I do this thing to the drawings. I don't know. I feel like it's glowing and it's coming alive. Something of that nature. Right. There we go. Nice. Yeah. So after we finish the three parts drawing, so we have one, we have two, and we have three. Which of these three it's your favorite? Do you like one? Like one here? Like one, two, or three? Which of these three is your favorite? Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, guys, thank you. Thank you, Vicky, for watching, for staying. Thank you, everybody else. Oh, God. If you have any question, drop me a message. I'll respond. Put on a watch. Give him a watch. Create some bracelets on the lady. Yeah. Hey, Nuggets. Yeah, I'm live. I'm mostly live on the weekends, Friday. No, I think I said on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's mostly when I'm live. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's mostly when I'm live. And also, I post an image when I'm coming on live. Hey, thank you so much, man. I see the messages the comments that you post. Hey, thank you so much for the support, man. I'll come again live on Thursdays. Mostly on Thursdays is anime Thursdays. So on Thursdays we just do manga and anime. Yeah, that's what happens on Thursdays. And Fridays we do abstract, right? I was trying to do Mondays to be scary Mondays. Like on Mondays we probably I was thinking maybe I can do monsters and scary creatures, you know. I wanted to do that on Mondays, but I'm still thinking about that. But at the moment, we just have Thursdays to be anime and Fridays to be abstract. And Saturdays, we mostly do like practical tutorials, like how to draw expressions, how to use your pen when you're shading, such things, right? Yeah. Hey, Krista. Hello. I saw that you have only 5 watches this live, so I came. Your arts are so cool. Oh my God. Hey, thank you, Krista. Thank you for hopping on the five. polish this part a bit more, but not too much. Right then, if I have to go, I wish I could stay, but I will definitely catch another life. Definitely, bro. Um, I'm just rounding up. I appreciate so much for sticking around for a while and jumping on this one. Yes. So far so good. That's what we have so far. And I'm just gonna clean up some spots that I missed as I was shading. And after that, I'll leave it on for probably 2 minutes or so. And then I'll jump off. So if you have any question or anything you want to shout out at, or what do you want to see me draw next, you can just feel free to say it now. I'll do that next time when I come, probably on a Thursday or so. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Oh, the handset is too long. But yeah. Yes. So yeah, that's all we have today. Thank you guys so much for watching, for sticking around. And you see me on shorts, or long form video might pop up somewhere. I don't know, depending on how the algorithm is feeling that day. Alright guys, thank you for your support. I'm out.